Alright, here is the ENME 351 Lab 5. To start off, we have the initial MATLAB simulation of the two resistances in the RC circuits. We see the blue line is the 10 kilo ohm, which takes about roughly a half second to charge to 5 volts, and then the red 100,000 ohms shows that it will take about 5 to 6 seconds to charge. Here's the RC circuit. In this case, we have the 100 kilo ohm resistor. Here is the Arduino code for the RC circuit. We initially set pin 4 as our voltage in and analog pin A1 as our reading at the voltage at the capacitor, and then we set the pin 4 to low so that we can discharge the capacitor before we start running the loop. We set the resistance to whatever resistor that we have, in this case the 100,000 ohm resistor. Then we have our time constant, and then we initialize the voltages at the capacitor and the input to 0. And then once we run into each digital high, digital low, we run through the loop that will charge and discharge the capacitor. However many times we have the count running, and then the string will display or output both Vin and Vc at the same time together. Alright, so here is the processing code. The changes that we made was we changed the baud rate to 115,200, and then we added our legend right here, and then below that we have our line set up at various locations, and then adding the labels for each of the lines, 0 through 5 volts. And if we run it, here's the oscilloscope with the legend up in the top right corner. It takes a minute to initially discharge the capacitor, and then it runs as a normal oscilloscope would. This is again the 100,000 ohm resistor, and here's the 10,000 ohm resistor. This is the analysis code that we were given. Of course, I have option A because the file is on my local machine, and then we changed it so that the V will read as a normal voltage and not as a bit voltage. And then so this is the data for the 100,000 ohm, and we can see that if you look closely, you can tell that it takes just about 5-6 seconds to charge. And then we can change that to 10,000, and then change this to the other file. We can see that it takes anywhere from half a second to a second to charge and discharge the thermistor. From the data sheet, we know the max resistance would be 10 kilo ohms, and we can see the voltage dropping. It starts going back towards ambient room temperature, and given this, our results should look similar to a first order decay graph.